Welcome back to another episode of the Hyper Hybrid Project. This is the second video of a probably 5 video series. The fifth one, which will be cinematic shots and stuff like that, but most of the other like building videos will be in a 4 video series. So this is episode 2, and we're working on stuff like catwalks, workshops. This is a transfer building right here, and even the queue and some of the truss at the top of this lift hill. It's all come together, and we have a lot that happens in this one video. There is one thing I want to mention about this coaster. I actually don't have a name for it yet, and that's what I'm asking for y'all to do. So if y'all have any name suggestions for this orange coaster, it would really help me out. I wouldn't have the hassle to try to figure out a name for this thing. So if you have an idea, leave it in the comments below. I always appreciate the feedback. So for this coaster, I wanted to go for as realistic as Planet Coaster allows, and that means a custom catwalk, a custom drive tires, custom everything on this ride. I mean, I even did like my own custom supports just over this little transfer track here, which you'll see in a minute. And that it also includes like custom fencing right here, as you can see. And yeah, it's crazy, but it looks really good. Some of the pieces that I was able to find on the Theme Maker's Toolkit were perfect. They fitted the theming and the black look perfectly to where I could color them. Just like this fence here, it fits the black, I don't know what you call those, like under supports, I guess. And yeah, it fits perfectly, and this is just me messing with that catwalk again. Kind of a bit annoying with all the custom pieces, I will say. It's a lot, and it took me a lot longer than what I normally would have done, which is what I normally do is I just use the in-game catwalk and just normal custom supports. But I wanted full realism here, so I went with everything, and that also means a transfer building or a service building. And yeah, like I said, custom drive tires and just everything, and it all works out really well. It does take significantly more time, so if you are wanting to do something like this, do be warned, it takes a lot of time. But it's worth it, I would say, because it looks so much better. When I'm building something in Planet Coaster, just in general, I always try to base what I'm building off of something that I've seen in a video or like in person. And of course, this brake run was inspired by Iron Gwazi. Now, it might not look like it, but the turn into the brake run has a kind of whippy effect, and it slams you into the brakes. And I wanted that to be how Iron Gwazi's was, because that's what it does. It banks you really fast, and then you hit the brake run. You're like, whoa, what just happened? And so that's what this is. And the first half of the brake run actually doesn't slow you down too much. It lets you glide in, and you can see that turn right there. But it lets you glide in. It doesn't slow you down too much because you don't want to get, thrown forward in your seat. So it slows you down very slowly at a very slow acceleration, and then it finally brings you to a stop. So it's nothing crazy, but it does do the purpose that I wanted it to do, and that was to not only look realistic, but also look like a little bit of Iron Gwazi's catwalk and brake run in general. Here are some stairs that I wanted to put in just so that the employees could access this catwalk here, and so if there's an evac, people could actually escape onto the station. Also, it has access to the transfer table here, so that's always a must need for a roller coaster. You have to be able to access your transfer table, so I put those stairs there. Then I surrounded the transfer track with this safety fence, which I think looks really good, but I might change it in the future because there's a better one that I just found on the Theme Maker's Toolkit. I always say that wrong. Theme Maker's Toolkit that I found that looks a lot better, so I might change it. And then we went into the transfer building, and I used this PBR. It was the American's Toolkit item. I think it was called PBR metal roofing or something like that. It looks really good. It's meant to look like a warehouse roof or something like that, and that's what I was basing this off of. Again, that's me using my knowledge of something I've seen, basing it off of, and just trying to emulate it and replicate it into Planet Coaster. And so yeah, that's what I did. It was supposed to look like a more modern warehouse, this transfer shed. And there are some sheds that I was basing it off of right there. I took the little garage overhang door here, flipped it around, and put it in. put some lining on this thing, and then added details galore on this. I really like the colors on this shed. It's like this dark black colors. It reminds me, again, here's me trying to replicate something else in the real world. It reminds me of Wildcat's Revenge and how it has those dark colors, which I would say this coaster has done a lot of Wildcat's Revenge inspiration, I would say. Just with all the dark colors, the layout's pretty similar. It has some wonky elements like Wildcat's Revenge, so that's what I would say the coaster is most similar to it. It's not nearly as tall as it probably wouldn't be. It would probably be better than Wildcat's Revenge in real life, but it's very similar. Here is a cool detail I've never done on building, is that is a gutter system. They have gutters in the Theme Maker's Toolkit, and they look really good. And if you spend your time on it, you can get the gutters looking really good and super, super realistic. And honestly, I think that's what made this shed, I call it a shed, it makes this shed turn out. It makes it look super realistic, and it's what drives the whole, I don't know what it would be, a theme maybe? Maybe just like realism. Maybe that's just what I'm getting mixed up with. But it looks really realistic, because if you didn't have a gutter system here, the water, if it was raining, would pour off onto the catwalk and then onto the track. So it would puddle like right next to the track, which would not be good for all the mechanics and stuff like that. So you would definitely need a gutter system here to watch out for the water and move all the water to a different part. And what would happen is those gutters would just go right through that catwalk and just dump on the ground under the coaster there. So I put some lights, I put some signs, and there is a door there, and then I started working on the inside of this transfer shed, which again, there's another realism aspect. I wanted to not leave any single part of this coaster out, and so I decided working on the transfer shed, and it looks really good. It's not anything crazy. I have done way better transfer sheds. I keep calling this a shed. Oh my word! We have to call this a shed now, guys. Like, it is a shed now. It identifies as a shed. Anyways, so I put like concrete down and such, and then I supported the roof and got it all looking dandy. Then I put Team Maker's Toolkit items on the wall and made it look all dandy and stuff. I'm not going to talk through this whole episode because it is kind of annoying to you to hear my voice. So I will put some nice relaxing music behind. Y'all can just sit back and watch the rest of the video. If you don't like it in that style, just comment below, hey, we actually like you talking during the whole thing. Okay, say that. I will continue to do it that way, but if you like how I leave music, then just say something and I'll keep it the same. So, thanks for watching, and I will catch you at the end of this video. that is the video done, and I think everything turned out really well, especially the modern transfer shed. I really like the vibe it has. It looks really good. As you can see here, wow, looks really good. The custom panels that I use on it, they look really good. And the queue turned out pretty good as well. So nothing crazy, just a little bit of a modern, kind of boring queue. Also, there's a shot of the V-roll coming up, and you'll be able to see the V-shaping. There it is, right there, that V-shaping, and yeah, it looks really cool. That is going to do it for the video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in episode 3. Keep on coastering.